And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. And red fish, blue fish. All right, we're good, except I just realized. I still have. We're good, except I just realized. I still have. Hold on. We still have fajitas up. And today's National Bacon Lovers Day. Hold on. We can fix that. I'm going to go over to my Envato account. Envato. I don't think it doxes me when I do this. Let me see. That's looking fine. Let's go to photos. Bacon. Let's get a picture of bacon in here. Ooh, we like that one. All right, bacon has been downloaded and licensed. Let me open up my downloads. Let me cut my downloads. Let's get all of that stuff out of the way. Let's take crispy bacon. What did we? Who showed up? That was Willie. Willie. What am I doing? I'm setting up the background. Hold on a second. We're gonna go over here. I double clicked. I shouldn't have double clicked. Don't double click. Let's try this again. Single click. Go over there. Paste in the bacon picture. Paste, paste, paste. How you doing, Charles? Set his background. There we go. That should do it. Happy Bacon Lovers Day. There we go. We're working on the graduation gown still. I actually made some nice progress with the tassel last couple of days, so I've got it kind of in the DAS, except I forgot to UV map it. Dough. And so let's get this. I started rigging it. So let's pop over. Actually, let's get in the blender for a couple seconds here. Let's get the hat over in the DAS. I'm going to put DAS right there for a second. Let's do this. Let's get you over here. I have this exported out for texturing and stuff. That's the one that's got UV mapping. And my tassel's looking okay. It looks a little funny there. Let's export out the cap. Let's check our. I got a cap. I should add a. I should make the button a color too. And I should say cap. I'm gonna call you cap board. Graduation cap. Let's do that. Graduation cap board, cap button. Then I'm ready to export that, I think. I'm gonna do that. I think I will do it. I think I'm gonna make that button maybe just a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna raise it up just a little bit because we're gonna get the string underneath it. And let's assign that. All right, should be good. I think this is the Genesis 8 female size. I think I'm going to go with that. I don't know if do I want to smooth this out a little bit maybe? And then we'll fit it for whatchamacallit. Let's tweak actually, let's just come over here to the smoothing tool. Let's set you to 0.2. And I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. Not too much. I keep grabbing the thing that we don't want to grab. Don't grab that. All right, let's tweak you a little bit. I want to just kind of fill it in slightly through here. think that's good. All right, let's export out the cap. Graduation. You know, I'm going to call you cap from now on. Maybe that. Let's do the DAS preset. What do you mean missing? What am I doing? I'm importing. I don't want to import. I want to export. Make sure we're using the DAS preset. This is going to have materials. I'm going to export that out. We'll set this up for texturing in a little bit. Let's get, that's actually not the tassel I need. Okay, so I've got the tassel, I think, exported out already. Let's pop over here. I'm going to open up my working file for this. I have it rigged, but I haven't saved it out quite yet. Did I set up my graduation? No, I don't have a grads folder. Let's get the grads folder set up so I can start saving stuff into that. Content Directory Manager. DAS Studio formats. Let's say add. I think I went by it. Grads. Here we go. Grads. Graduation outfit. We'll do that right there. Accept that. Okay, should be good. Okay, we need to kind of set up the template for that. That didn't work. Let's try this button. Go over to projects. Let me just pop into here real quick and grab these. And then we'll just run down here to the grads folder. Just paste those right into there. Should be good to go. All right, let me open up file, open recent. Grad tassel, there we go. No, I don't need to save you. There we are. This is rigged like a rope. So we can actually get in here and bend parts. I really only need it to bend over one part, but you know, while I'm at it, I might as well make the whole thing posable, right? After making my brain explode. I'm thinking, hold on. That's right. I need to update this because this has no UV mapping. Well, it does, but it's nasty. And so if we took a look at what our current UV mapping looks like, that's nasty. We're not going to use that. We're going to update that with I just saved a copy of this tassel with UV mapping just a little while ago. So I'm going to update this with that. So we're going to update the base geometry. We're going to update the full geometry. And we are looking for grads, outfit, whip. I want the tassel with the IDs. Accept that. Accept again. And did I break DAS? I broke DAS. Let's try this again. DAS didn't like that. This time we will do that without having the UVs open. I think that's what it was. Because It doesn't like to update the UV window, but I think because I had that open while I was actually updating the UVs, it gave Daz a headache. Poor Daz. Life's tough when you're Daz. So we'll try this again and we'll just do it out here. Okay, I'm going to select you. We're going to update full geometry. And I am lost again. Just figures. I want this one here. And we'll accept that. And we should be good. All right. I'm going to hit save on this before it goes away. I could probably save this now as a figure. It's probably a good point to save it. Let's just double check though. So we're just going to come back over here to the surfaces and we'll just run back down here and take a look at the UV view. And that's what we were hoping for. Yay. All right, moving along. So I'm going to go back to this. We're going to save this out and come back to it in a short bit. We'll put it down here. I'll stick it over here in the Genesis 9 for now. Right here in the outfit. Actually, outfit needs to be renamed, doesn't it? Can I rename you? I can't. Okay. Graduation. Actually, let's say grad's outfit. Looking good. All right, so you get to be, let's do a couple little things here. Into the ID. It's complaining because I don't have anything selected. Okay, scene identifier. We're going to get rid of that garbage. And we're going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to call you an accessory for the head. Do we get options? It's parts of the head, but I don't have one for top, so we're just going to go with this. Did you not save? Oh, I didn't save it yet. That's right. Graduation outfit. People. We're going to go G9. And right in here. Oh, I need a space in that, don't I? Grads. Tassel. And we're going to call you grads. Grads tassel, accessory for the head. All of that looks good. Okay, this I didn't. I need a space right there. There we go. I couldn't see it because it's truncating stuff. Anyhow, that's good. Let's get. Do I want to rig this? I can turn it into a prop later. Let's. You know what? I'm going to rig the hat because I don't think there's really a lot of bones that are going to do bad stuff to it up here. So we're going to import in the hat, cap. So I had expected it to be a little small, or because this is actually sized for the female, but it seems to be doing okay there. So I think we're probably fine. Are you? You got a little deformed in here. Let's back up, fix that. I think when I was smoothing, I must have touched stuff I didn't need to touch. Let me see. Let's see if we can do the thing where we do local and oriented selection. Did that do? That didn't quite do what I wanted to do. So what I think I need to do is I gotta do this in baby steps, I guess. So I'm gonna select all of this and then flatten it out. And then we're gonna do it on the bottom side. So we'll flatten. And then we'll do it down here. You know what? I should hide this first. Actually, here's the. And then we're going to hide that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab these edges. Oh, that went too far. Is that okay? That's about right. Oh, I got you. Got a little bit of a bevel on you. That's okay. I don't have to worry about that. So if I hide that, Control L, flatten. It's probably good. I can probably do some G stretching to fix this. So we're gonna like grab a point here, and then where it gets back to normal, we'll grab that. Oops, I kind of meant to do like that, and then we can just run a G stretch on that, and we'll just double check and see if there's any other spots. So I think that's gonna be good. Although I think I got a little bit of a doodah here. So you know what? I think I'm gonna hide this. I think when I flattened it, it's a little off. Let's hide you. Let's select you. Let's select you. Let's invert, gives me that. And now what I think I'm going to do is maybe just pull it up a little. Yo, Angie, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I occasionally catch you on Instagram. How you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm not dead yet. I'm making a graduation outfit. So that's what we're up to today. We're working on the cap. I accidentally deformed it because I'm bad. I'm going to do an Alt H, brings back all the stuff that's hidden. So this is a cap. This is a tassel. I've got a gown. We're going to get that stuff in the poser or in the DAS studio, work on that. So I hope everything has been going all right with you. Kind of see the changes in your life. Big stuff. Yeah, just mm-hmm. And now I'm thinking life is difficult. I guess that's a good way to put it. Are you still looking okay? You're still fine. I want a little bit of room underneath this because I'm going to put the tassel on there. I think I think I'm happy with the hat now. The cap. We're gonna export the cap. Overwrite. There we go. We're gonna come back into here and redo it. I'm gonna re-import graduation cap. Are you thinking of streaming again? I hope you're still doing art. What is going on? Oh no, the head's poking through. We can fix that. We have the technology. I'm going to select the button. I'm going to select the board. I need to move this up just a pinch. We just don't have the space. Oh, yeah, I can kind of understand that. Am I not? My fall off zone is moving very slowly. All right, I'm going to pull this up just a little bit so the top of the head's not sticking through anymore. Let's try this again. Yeah. Well, I miss seeing you, that's for sure. And once again, we're going to re-import this. All right, I don't see the head sticking through now, so I think we're kind of good. All right, I'm going to rig this. We'll use the transfer tool for that. We're going to use the Genesis 9 graduation cap. I'm going to treat this as a short hair. We'll accept that. I'm going to see if it deforms. I can fix that later. So anyhow, that's kind of what the cap's going to look like. My tassel down here, it's posable. Yeah, hopefully. I am keeping an eye out. As you see, I am still on Twitch. Mostly because what I work on, I can do on stream. So I will end up selling this stuff. No, I think that's the only reason I managed to keep doing Twitch for so long is I would be doing this irregardless if I'm streaming or not. You know what? I'm gonna set up the gown. Now let's get the gown in here for. So here, let's take a look at the gown. The gown's still hanging out in Marvelous Designer. I have to do a little bit of work on that, and then we're going to export it out. I want to try to get this at least set up to texture tonight, so that's the general plan. I got my cap. Oh yeah, and we got one of those things that droops over your shoulders. A stole, that's what they call it, a stole. Hey, thanks for the shout out there, Charles. I don't know, did that work? I don't think that's working anymore. I think you have to do the, are you able to do the slash shout out? The real, once upon a time that was the Twitch command, but Twitch decided that was too short and we needed to type more. Because that's just the way Twitch rolls. Yeah. No, did I do it? I don't think it did anything. I don't know. Is it in? I can't see my. I can't see my Twitch. There it is. She's got the. She gets. It's the shout out that goes into Twitch. I should probably look at fixing. It did the shout out. Okay. Yeah, I often can't see my. I have other stuff that gets in the way of Twitch sometimes when I'm streaming. And what did I do? I rotated into a funny position. Let's fix that because I can't work like this. I can't. Did Marvelous Designer finish opening? Hey, there's Marvelous Designer. Let's get you over here so I can see chat still. Let's open up the gown. Open project. Graduation gown. I guess it's a robe, right? Do they call them gowns? They call them robes. I think when I search for gown, this is what comes up. So that's what we got. I got to do a little bit of detailing in here. I'm going to export it out. And I need to arrange these a little better. You're probably, let's put these like this. Let's put these over here. I'm probably gonna rotate these because then I can kind of set them in here. You know what? I didn't UV map that again, did I? I don't actually need those anymore because we already moved that part to Blender. So I think, can I line you up in here? Yeah, I think I'm going to line that. We're going to make this a little tighter through here. I have to assign a bunch of materials to stuff. I called that stole edge. Stole edge. Okay. Gown. Hem. Trim. Sleeve trim. Attachment. Zipper. Gown. Trim. I think I'm gonna hem. Collar. Sleeves. Cuffs. And I think sleeve trim will be the last one. That'll be our arms, trim arms. All of this helps make for a better, easier to work with when we get back to Daz. And you're just going to be arm trim. Arms, let's say arms. We'll plural that, kind of like that. Get over here. Okay, time to start actually. Where are you? You're over there. So let's do an internal line. Did I just pop a line in there that I didn't need? You know what? I don't need these. Actually, I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to give it like about a 1-inch, 25 millimeter cuff. We'll cut so those. I'm going to come down here and give it the hem. That took its time, didn't it? Can I just... Oh, I gotta get all of these. Oh no. Are you all little? Oh no, you're multiple. Oh, the tedium. Offset as an internal line. We'll do 25 on those. I'm going to cut and sew those so that I can apply separate material zones. I'm going to go up and get the collar. Actually, you know what? This is just going to be trim, so we'll just and this is just a small, so we'll just do a 5 on that. Cut and sew that. Gonna want one there. I don't want one back here. So actually, let me get the armholes, and then I'll get offset as internal line. 5, okay. Oh, I missed the back part of the yoke. I'll get that in a second. So we cut and sew all of that. These, I forgot to get those. Cut and sew that, and I think, no, you're mirrored, okay. And then this and this is the collar. And we'll just do a thin little trim zone on those. I have this line right through here already. I can cut and sew that. Do I want that to be... You know what? I'm going to run it through here on this side. So we'll put a little 5 through there. Cut and sew that. I'm going to add a little on the back side of the shoulder. Cut and sew those. I have to separate these so I can put different fabrics, which end up being my materials. I think I'm going to merge these, actually. Let's do that. If I can actually select and then merge. I have to do this 3 times. And then merge that. Oh, that went wonky. What the hell? I did not touch you. I did not touch you. No idea why you were moving. Not fair. And yet we're almost... I'm going to merge that one. That makes that a solid piece. Now I have these 2 floating over here, so I got to make sure to put them back in place. Otherwise, my UVs are going to be janked. I think that's going to be close enough. I could have just put... I'm good there. I'm going to put... Did I not put one in here? I thought I did. Well, we're going to put one right in here. I've lost what I was doing. Offset as an internal line. Did I not hit the Z key? I did not hit the Z key. Okay, cut. So that... I think for the pattern, I'm going to move the other back piece over. I kind of want the back to be kind of one pattern, at least look like it's a pattern piece. Then we're just going to slide all of this stuff this way. That makes sense. I think, oh yeah, I'm going to put, trim this up. I think I'm going to give myself a little bit wider edge on this one. So let's say 10 on that. And cut and sew those. I think I'm ready to go. We're ignoring that. I think, you know what? I don't really need that. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. It's just in the way. And actually, let's just save up a version just in case. Save as project. Gown 02. I think I'm in a spot where I can... So we're going to go color up these so I can see what's what. Otherwise, it's just hard for me to tell if I've actually dropped the fabric on the right spot or not. So I'm going to apply that. Apply that. So I'm just going to run through and quickly give these all colors. And this is only to make sure, it just makes it so I can see what I'm doing. Because when we export, Marvelous Designer just ignores the colors. Because it's naughty that way. I don't like that. That's too close. Okay. So stole. So I'm going to just select all of these. Take stole edge, drop it there. Take stole, put it there and there. It's good. That is the gown cuffs. So put that there. That's the sleeves. You know, I don't think I'm going to use sleeve trims, so that's fine. Okay, the collar is in here. Let's see if we can just select. I can do this in parts. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this all into trim first. It's just a little easier to work with that way. Dang it. I did not select you. There's an instance where I didn't select something and it changed anyhow, and it got selected anyhow. Okay, gowned hem down here. Oh no, are you not cut? You are. I just didn't. It just didn't drop where I had the cursor. It does that. I put the cursor over one thing and it thinks that I've got something else nearby selected. That's gown and that's gown. Oh, I need to make materials for those. Okay. That's arm. That's gown. That's collar. Missed. That's arm. And we got an arm there. Collar right there. Gown there. Gown. Collar. Arm trim. We got more arm trim over here. Oh no. This is an error. That fill isn't really there. You aren't arm trim. There should be one right here. But you see my fill is missing. So what I need to do is I need to just nudge a point like that, and then the fill pops back in. And now I can apply. And moving along. I forgot the zipper. We have a zipper trick that we do with Daz, so I have to set these up. So I need gown zipper and gown zipper attachment. Attachments, little strips that I can delete out later so that it can then be opened up. Zipper. And let's copy you and zipper attachment. Okay, let's give you colors. Is good. Okay, zip, zip, zip. That was probably a poor color choice. I can't actually see it. Okay, I think we're good. Let's just make sure everything quad optimized looks good. I think I'm good. I'm going to let that settle. Maybe not. It's thinking about it. We're going to wait because I haven't saved recently. You can bet I'm going to hit save as soon as this comes back. There we go. All right, are you you are simulating. Maybe not. It's thinking again. I'm out of memory. I'm going to shut it down and relaunch it. It done ate up all my VRAM. All right, here we go. This makes no sense anymore. I'm just going to say open this way. Recent used to make sense. It stopped making sense a while back. The geniuses at Marvel's Designer found a better way of doing things. Are you? Come on, relax. Have I got gravity on? I do have gravity on. You're just being a butt. That's what you're being. There we go. That's better. I like that. Okay. I think I'm in a position to export these out. Oh, I haven't done the actually I have to do UV editor. Apparently I closed it. There we go. All right, let's reset it. Say okay. I think that'll be fine. All right, we're gonna do this in two parts. The stole will be separate. Export OBJ selected. Graduation. Stole. Let's not export that avatar. Let's say okay to that. All right, and then we'll do gown. File export OBJ selected. Gown. We'll do that. Okay. And no avatar, please. Thank you. All right, we're good. Let me hit save on this. Let's put you off to the side. We'll come back in here. We'll import in our gown. I'm going to kind of do this a couple things. The gown is not fitted to this figure. It's fitted to the female shape of this, but we're going to work it like this. So use the transfer tool. Genesis 9. Gown. We're going to call you a loose dress. All right, let's do the stole too. That was the wrong button. I wanted this one. So we're going to import in the stole. Accept that. Run the transfer tool to rig it. Genesis 9, stole. I'm also going to treat this as a loose dress. Why couldn't it just put both of these here? It did both of this with the bodysuit, but dress? No, it has to. Dresses are special. Dress makes you click an extra click. I'm at that point in my life where I don't need extra clicks. All right, that is good to go. Okay, so now we're going to fit it to the base female shape. So I'm going to dial this in, and I'm going to load the original shapes in as morph targets. I think I have the gown selected. I'm totally in the wrong folder now. There we go. Yay! And then we'll do the same thing for the stole. It didn't break, so we're good to go. Stole. There we go. There we go. Created morph successfully, and there is much rejoicing. So we're gonna dial that in. Dial that in. Now it fits. And we're just going to reset you back. And now it kind of fits. And then we're just going to export these out as the base shapes. This is going to be gown. I'm going to call you gown 02 or something. Accept that. Do the same thing with the stole. Accept that. All right. Reset that and reset that. Now we'll update the geometries. And we'll do the same thing for the stole. I'm going to switch that light so it looks a little bit better. What am I doing? Updating the base geometry. That's right. There we go. Stole 2 is the one we want. Alrighty. You've kind of got all the parts in the DAZ now. I'm going to do a couple of things to this, save it, and then we're going to set it up for texturing in whatchamacallit. Did I even UV map you? I don't even know if I UV mapped you. Dang it. Once again, I forgot to UV map something. You're not properly UV mapped. Let's try this. I can update this. Mark that seam there. That's good. Okay, so that part's done. We'll hide that. And then I'm going to mark a couple of seams. You know what? I'm just going to put a seam right through there. And that's probably good to go. That didn't. I don't like the way that worked. Let's try this again. I got a hole in here. I didn't want a hole in here. I kind of have an idea what it's doing, but I didn't mark it as a seam, so that's what's annoying about it. You know what? I could probably live with that. Do I have weird geometry going on here, though? Oh, what is going on here? Well, you know what? I probably hid part of it. Yeah, that's what. Here, let's just select do that and try this again. See, that's better. What are you? Oh, you got inadvertently selected. And then I'll just get the button by itself. You're just being funny, aren't you? I'm having an issue with the way this thing's mapping. I know how it should be mapping that, but it isn't. It's breaking it apart into weird ways. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have a big face on the bottom? You know what? Let's lose that big face on the bottom. I don't need you. I don't need to do that either. There we go. Let's try this. that's better. Okay. Let me. Okay, now we're going to use Packmaster to kind of rearrange some things around a little bit. Hey, DZ, how are you doing? Oh, I gotta update your command. That's what it. I was thinking of doing that at the beginning of the stream, and of course I forgot. I'm gonna do that just after I get this hat UV mapped and fix it in DAZ, and then we're gonna fix your command. Adjust to unselected. So that kind of works. All right, let's use UV Packmaster to do the pack magic. There we go. You know what? That could have been better. This is just kind of goofy. I'm just going to move you down there. I could have done a better job of packing it than that. What in the hell was it thinking? Don't you hate it when your utility doesn't do what it's supposed to do? Oh, we didn't want that. I'm going to move you down here. I'm going to maybe put you in the center. Nope. I'm just going to scale you. Move you. Call that good. We're working on the graduation gown. I think I was doing that the other day when you were here. There's my tassel. So I'm kind of happy with how the tassel. I have the tassel rigged in DAZ at this point. I forgot to do the UV mapping on it, but I have fixed that at this point. I've imported the cap in without UV mapping it, so I'm fixing that right now. I've just been doing everything without the UV mapping part today. So we're just going to redo this. We'll pop back into here. We're going to update that geometry all the way. With that, should work. Nope, didn't, because I have the wrong thing selected. It helps if you have the right thing selected when updating UVs. All right, let's try this again. It still says I have the wrong. You know what? I don't need to keep this. I can just, all I did was quickly rig it, so we can just lose that and re-import. Oh, you know what I probably did? No, I did export. Yeah, we'll just re-rig it. I didn't spend a lot of time on that anyhow. I think I just ran the transfer tool on it. I think that was it. Genesis 9, cap. I'm going to call you a short hair, accept that. Should be good. Let's just take a quick peek over here. And make sure my UVs are looking good. UVs are fine. Back here. All right, let's give everything colors and then we can... I'm starting to set this up for texturing, so that's what we're up to right now. I probably should, you know what, we're going to update this for Genesis 9, May, or generic. So I'm going to resave these, and then we're going to update the geometry with them instead. And then I'm going to fix the female shape, something like that. There's the base. We're going to add you to workspace as a morph target. Say okay to that. We're just going to kind of watch that until it goes off. It's done. Okay. File export OBJ selected. I'm going to overwrite stole2 with that. No avatars, please. Thank you. And then we'll just do the gown. I'll just overwrite gown 2 with that. And you know what? We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to update the DZ command before I forget again. I'm already forgetting. So where are we? We're going to go. So here we go. I've been using StreamerBot for this stuff. Mostly because StreamerBot lets me combine my Twitch chat, my YouTube chat. Not that there's anybody chatting in YouTube, but if there was, I could see it on this along with my Twitch chat. So that's the reason why I like StreamerBot. But I can also set up my actions. So we're going to do... I have a DZ command in here somewhere. Where did it go? There it is. What I need to do is... I don't think I have... No, I need to do... Where is the actions? There we go. I got to do it this way. DZ. I have to update this to say to send messages. So I'm going to come over here and Twitch message and YouTube message. So I need to add a Twitch message. I need to add a YouTube message to this. So add. Let's see if we can remember how this works. Yo, SRAM, there you are. Over on the YouTube, dude. I always forget where this stuff is. Is it in commands? Nope. Is it in... I gotta look again. Send a message to channel. Both. Gotta support the homies. Yeah. How are you doing, buddy? I'm updating my DZ command. I think I still have to add music to the SROM command, or do I? No. I have music for the SROM command. That's right. The SROM command now actually has music. And if Charles is listening, he might actually do the command. Let's try this. Add. Is it in core? I can never remember. There's just so much stuff in here. Throwing a stream together for tomorrow. Oh, cool. Tomorrow. There you go. There's the SROM command. A little music for the maestro. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can duplicate you and turn you into the DZ command. I need to... Can I just... Okay, I think that does it. And now I have to come over here and see what was the sound. 8-bit game audio ambience wave is what we were using for DZ. So I'm going to come over here and change that to this 8-bit. Okay, then we're going to edit these messages. Say, hey, it's Dzang. Dzang, let's say this, Dzang in the house, baby. Exclamation point, and I'm really excited, so that's a third exclamation point. Check out the stores at Renderosity and Daz. That said, it might take next weekend off. Yeah, you put a lot of effort into those streams. I would never be able to do that. Most of my effort is changing my background, which, by the way, happy Bacon Lovers Day. Dun dun dun. That's the extent of me getting ready for stream, changing my background and trying to find out what national day it is. Okay, let's finish this. All right, let's go over to the DZ store of Renderosity. Some of those, yeah, because you not only dig up the documentary, but then you usually, but these last ones, I think you just been chucking albums on, right? But like the Bee Gees, you do the documentary, and then you do a curated playlist, and you just don't say, "I'm going to play this song, because this song." You listen to the most of the. You spend hours doing that, dude. I don't blame you for going easy in August and maybe even missing days. Um, let's go shopping at Renderosity. Renderosity. I can't go to Rod's gallery because that might get me in trouble. I'm going to do that over here. Okay, let's go over to the marketplace. Um, I don't know. DZ should be a top seller, right? Best selling. Marketplace, top vendors. Dzang, there we go. There we are. Copy that. Put that over there. Let's get that in here. I'll figure out how to make these links look nicer. And then let's go over and get the one at Daz. Oh, I hate the way this. I can never navigate when it gets like this. I can't see the search bar anymore. There we go, Dzang. That did not work. That did work. Okay. There we go. DZ, D-Force Urban Recon. Dzang. Let's click on that. There's the store. All right, let's copy that link. Put that into the command. Right there. Let's copy this. Let's say okay to that. Let's update the one that goes to YouTube. And we'll just paste that in here. Say okay to that. All right, let's see if this is working. Easy. Okay. All right, there we go. I've updated the DZ command to actually, you can check out their store, Renderosity and the Daz. Check them out. Joe Bob says, I don't know. What does Joe Bob say? Joe Bob says, check it out. There you go. All right, we were working on the gown. I'm updating the shape of the gown. So we're going to do this again. I got the graduation cap selected. Let's not do that. Let's Select it down. Let's update the vertex position with that. Accept that. Accept that. See, that looks a little nicer. And then we'll update the stole a little bit. That's the little thing you can't see that's drooping over the neck because everything's the same color. Graduation stole 2. There we go. Accept that. Okay, now I've got to... We design everything to fit the female shape, not this generic androgynous shape. So I'm going to tweak that real quick here. Right there. Dial you in like that. And I already have shapes that work for that. So we're going to use the original. And that's not what I need. I want to do the body shape. There we go. That's the text there. Chris, how can you not remember base feminine _ body _ BS _ body? What the hell is wrong with you? That is just so easy to memorize. Daz and its absolutely insane naming conventions. I'm not doing that. I'm loading this in as a morph target. And I have, what do I have? I'm going to do the stole first. Choose the morph file. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to rename it. The name of the female body shape morph. So that when we dial in the female body shape, it looks better. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the gown. And that's the original gown shape there. Oops, I did that wrong. I forgot to tell it to, I forgot to rename it. That's what I forgot to do. Stimpy, you fool. This part, I forgot to rename it to this. There we go. It's all nice and pretty now. All right, we're ready to give everything different colors and send it out for Substance Painter. I'm going to hit save on this. We're going to do a little bit more tweaking. Hey, no worries. I appreciate you coming here. Not that it gets you any business, but what the hell? in the off chance. But it does let you know you're important. All right, I'm going to put my base shader on. It just makes things easier to work with. And my handy dandy generic shaders makes this really easy to do. Select and click. There is a utility for PAs that kind of does this, but it doesn't have nearly enough colors for what I do. So it's just easier for me to just keep doing it this way. Actually, I don't want to. Oh, I got to rename all of these. I can do that later. Because they still have their janky, marvelous designer names for the most part. You know what? I'm going to make both parts of that cord the same. All right, we're good to go. The cap looks good. Let's clean up the names on the gown. Because our friend Marvelous Designer just says, hey, you know what? I know that you named it this, but I'm going to add this extra garbage here just to be unhelpful. I think that's important internally for Marvelous Designer. I just wish they realized that it wasn't really important externally. Of course, their OBJ exporter has been getting shittier and shittier since 24. I think they peaked. Their OBJ exporter got better until like 24, and then it started getting bad. They started adding extra features and actually breaking really useful features. You currently cannot make morph targets in the current version of morph because the OBJ exporter is broken. I have to stick to an old one if I'm doing morph targets. Also, you can't sew things to internal lines anymore because it just won't weld it on export. It refuses to do that because it's smarter than you are. Because who would want to actually weld something that was sewn? Okay, I'm done. I'm done complaining about Marvelous Designer again. Until next stream. All right, we're good to go. Let's export everything out. And then we're going to take a short trip into Blender to kind of spread it out a little bit. And then we will set this all up in Marvelous Designer. Activate export. So here, let's put a folder for all our substance files. Also, I have everything. My UVs are stacking up, so we're going to have to spread those out too. I'm just going to call this Grad's outfit. That's perfectly fine. It's easier than saying graduation every time. Yo, Napsmore. Can you export to a different? I haven't tried. They have an FBX exporter. I haven't actually thought to try the FBX exporter to go to DAZ. You know what? That's an idea. I might try that. Although I don't know. Can you bring? You can't use FBXs though as morph targets. It has to be an OBJ. I mean, I guess you could save it as what I think it's. Well, with the OBJ exporter, it's not. It's adding something. But with an FBX, so if I took an FBX, put it into Blender, and then export that out. But that's a lot harder than just using the old version. I mean, I have a way that works. It just I have to use the old version. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. How you doing? This has been a hell of a day. I'm sorry, Rod. Dang. Then you have to catch up for 5 days of paperwork. I'm sorry retirement's not working out for you, dude. Maybe tomorrow. And I'm sorry Joe went to the hospital. I'm glad to hear she's doing well. Tell Joe we send our love. I'm exporting. Okay, let's what do I got? I got a half hour. It's plenty of time. I want to actually get the tassel card colored mostly, but we'll see how this goes. And Chris is launching yet another. I like Blender. I say that because I've got 2 instances running with no issues. We're going to do that. Oh, she says hi back. Yay. Projects. Oh, that's right. I can't. Although I hate the fact I can't come in here and type GRA and get to my folder. That doesn't work. Which I do everywhere else, but not here in Blender. Otherwise, I would be typing GRA just to get down the grads real quick. Graduation outfit, whip, substance. I choose you, Pikachu. There we go. Okay, I want to take the stole and move it off so that we don't occlude on the robe. I want to kind of get you moved around a little bit. Actually, let's do that. And I'm just going to move you You know what? I'm just going to put you over there. Um, I'm thinking, do I need my big square in here? If I do, I'll add it later. Oh, I think I do need the big square. I'll add the big square later. I have a trick where I put a giant square in here, and then I can kind of use the 3D pen on that as if it were 2D. Because using the 3D pen in 3D space is often very difficult. Often it would be a lot easier if I could just use it on the UV map, but that's not an option. I think this is good. So I have everything is kind of stacked up on top of each other right now. So we want to move, this is the tassel. So I'm going to move the tassel over here. So we're just going to say GX1, pop that over there. Then we're just going to grab the hat. And we're going to move that over to GX2. Nope, that was the wrong thing. There we go. So we have 3 UDEMs we're going to use, and then the rest of it's over here. Let's see how this works. So I'm going to export this into here with the IDs. I'm going to call that IDs. And then I want one with no materials because Substance Painter will punish you if you come in with materials, with more than one material. Export that. Say no materials. Come over into here. 1, 2, 3. No materials. There we go. Should be good. All right. Let's get Substance open. I definitely want to just get the tassel done today. So and I might as well do the hat. So I think we can get the starting textures done. Black and gold, gold for the stole. Actually, hold on a second. We're going to go shopping for graduation gowns. I'm going to log out of my Amazon account. Graduation. Graduation gown. I kind of want to get a feel for the finish. I generally don't like the way, you know what? That's kind of a just a cottony finish, isn't it? I think I can go with that. I like this selection of colors, black and white. We got yellow, red. Is that navy? Purple. Another red and blue. That gives me, what, 8 colors? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, where are we? Oh yeah, happy National Bacon Lovers Day. Mm-mm. Uh, did I not launch Substance? I haven't launched Substance yet. Let's launch Substance. Get Substance Painter going here. So we can start doing our textures. It's slowly launching over on screen 2. There we go. All right, we're going to do File New. So this one here with no materials. There we are. All right, let's bake our maps. That's probably good to go. You can kind of follow our progress as it goes here. Ambient occlusion and curvature are the ones that take the most time. We're currently generating ambient maps. So when that gets done, it'll put a little thumbnail in here. Also, the progress bar will move. And it's doing one for each UDIM. So you can kind of see it going through here. It's currently working on the tassel. The tassel is probably the hard one for these to calculate because there's all these little tubes in there. It looks like it did the cap. I thought the cap was over in... Okay, done with the ambient occlusion. It's moving on to the curvature maps. These take a little while too, especially with all the detail in this thing. I can't see part of that. I hope I'm not going to cry. And my textile density is really different from here to here. I probably should have mapped that and put it on here. I could still do that. We're not too far in. You know what? I'm going to cancel this. We're going to remap that and update it. I'm still going to leave the tassel on its own map, but I think I can fit the cap on the same map as this if I... Let's do this. Where am I? UV editing. I'm going to hide... I'm going to hide the tassel. And then I want to... Oh, and I didn't even move all of the cap. I was screwed anyhow. And then let's come in here and use PackMaster to equalize the textile density with the unselected. I like that. That'll fit up here nicely, I think. I'm going to repack it, but we're going to tell it to not scale right here. Fix scale. We'll do that. And that should go down there. And then I'm going to just stick that up in this blank area up here. I'm just making sure my little button's up there. Okay. And I'm going to resave these. I'm going to resave the cap out by itself, and then I can update the UVs over here. I'll come back to this, but I'm going to just stick this right here for right now. Graduation cap UVs. Okay, and then we can, then we're just going to resave all of this again. And now I'm down onto 2 UVs instead of 3. Come back into here, and we're currently not saving that, so I'll save that over that. Then we do it again, this time with the materials. I'll overwrite that. And we'll come back in here. I'm going to update. And then we'll rebake. Of course, now we have to painfully sit through the ambient occlusion and the curvature generation again. That looks a little weird. Let me check something in here. We're being bogged down by substance. Oh no, it's looking fine. Never mind. All right, we're on the curvature maps now. Stream may be affected by this. My apologies. You may not be able to hear me at this point. I'll apologize again. All right, there we go. All right, let me get the IDs baked. I should save this before now I'm kind of halfway through the process. Grads. Okay, those are off. That is on. That becomes 4K. We're going to load in the one with the IDs. I'm going to adjust the cage to be really tight. And then we'll bake that. Does that take a little bit of time? I switched that so it's just two colors. I have this set up so I can have two different color strings, but for what I'm doing here, I only need the one. All right, painting. Here we go. And I'm going to use a different material over here than I am for the rest of this. And I think I'm going to put that in the back. You know what? I think I'm going to use a silk on this, and I'm going to use a cotton on this and this. And we're going to use kind of a ropey texture for the cords. And then there's this little metal part. So let's start. I'm going to use the cords as the background because I think that's going to need all the help it can get. So there's a weird rope texture I'm going to take and abuse. This one right here. Actually, let me try this. This might be easier. So I'm just going to drop that in. Everything's got this rope texture. I'm just focusing on getting the cord part to look good. That looks a little weird. Why do you look weird? Let's do triplanar projection. What's going on with you? I gotta say, that's a little annoying. Let's take a look and see if we can figure this out. Somewhere in here. Oh, that's all backwards. I shouldn't make that. I'm gonna flip that. Um, Where's my thing? Mesh normals flip. So I still am not quite sure why that is giving me weird UVs. I mean, I just did a slacker job of texturing that. We just smart mapped it because it's so nasty. It's probably okay. I'm going to worry about the flip normals there. Is that giving me weird? You know, it's giving me kind of weirdness here, isn't it? Let me rebake it. What do I got? 17 minutes. I'm going to resave you. And now I have to rebake. Are you reset? You look like you reset yourself. You know what I might do is I might remap that so that chord is, and then I can just smart map the rest of them. That chord's easy enough where I could actually put a seam on it and map that separately from everything else. And that seems to be the only spot I'm getting a really bad. Oh, it's still calculating. It's doing weird stuff. I can't work in Blender while this is going on. You know what? I'm going to cancel this. We'll come back to this in a second. I'm totally going to redo this. So I'm going to hide those for a little bit here. And that go all the way around. That did not. Oh, it's because I got a gap in the top, which I can't see because I'm clipping. There, that's better. Okay. And I'm just going to do that. We'll adjust to the unselected. We'll grab everything. We'll just repack it all. Okay, it wanted to shrink and it didn't, so let's do max scaling and pack it again. That's good. All right, let's move you over. And that should be good to go. And then I got to resave this and update the UVs or re-rig it with this. So I'm going to pop you loose. And I'm going to save you out as a UV object for later. Just to do this tassels IDs, or tassels UVs. So I know that that's good. All right, and then we'll do this again. Materials is on, so we'll do that one. Oops. And then no materials, we'll do that one. Okay, back into substance and the whole re-import and then rebake. And let's redo those. Clear you out. Set you back to 2K. Bake those again. Hopefully that'll fix what's going on with this. That's looking a little weird. I'm hopefully it doesn't actually have a curvature map that looks like that. I think it's calculating the curvature map right now, though. Of course, if it doesn't do anything funny, but when I put the dirt on there, it'll probably do weird things on the dirt. Okay, and that's good. All right, let's bake the ID map once more. That one right there. And my cage is still tight. Okay, bake. All right, let's take a look at how this is looking. It could just be my shader, too. No, we're good now. If you remember how janky, we were getting something weird going on right in here, and we're not seeing that anymore. All right, let's tile this so it looks like it's just textures on the chords. I'm not concerned about the other parts. We're just focused in on these chords. So, I don't know, 64 maybe. See, that looks nice. Maybe a little bit. 128. Maybe I'll just go with 128. And I just want the backing. So I don't even really want the color. I just need I don't even really want those. I'm mostly just getting the texture, the height map and the normal map for that. So that'll probably be good there. All right, let's put a little bit of, let's put a gold on that. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put a blocking layer in. No, it's probably, I'll do it this way. There's a gold. I'm going to drop that right onto there. You can see we're getting the height and the normal map are bleeding through. So we'll switch these to normal. It's still bleeding through. Why are you bleeding through? I fixed height map. I fixed. Oh, there we go. I didn't have a height map on there. I don't know what's going on with that. It's probably good enough. All right. Let's find a cotton. Actually, let's get the silk out of the way. No, not that. Here, I'll use generic silk, and we're just going to put this over here on the stole. Did that drop? That did not drop. Let's try that again. And we're going to do the same thing we did. Type normal. Okay, I also want to put that on, but I can mix and match the edge color. And I'm going to set you up to start as gold. So I think that'll look good for that. I think I'll put a cotton in here. And then maybe I'm going to put a, just add it right in here. We'll put a fill there for color. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the burlap trip. I think it's the burlap trip. Let's see how this works. Because I think burlap gives me two different colors that I can subtly. So I'm going to use this just for colors. We're not going to use the texture on that. And then I'm going to tile that down. Or tile it up so it's a like that. And I'm getting, what's bleeding through here? Is that the silk? Oh no, that's the, I'm only using the color. That's all, that's the problem. I need something in here for the texture. And the finish. And I think maybe fabric linen. What did I do with this burlap? What the hell did I just do with that? You know what? I wasn't going to use any of those on the burlap, was I? And fabric linen. Does fabric linen have two? Fabric linen has two colors too. So you know what? Maybe I don't need the burlap. Maybe I'll just go with the fabric linen. And set that to normal. And set that to normal. So all my texture is just coming from the linen. I'll do that. We'll tweak the tiling on that. And then we'll tweak the colors. We'll do the black first. You know what? I can make you just completely black because you're blending in with a slightly lighter shade. So in this case, so that's good, but I don't want, you know what? I want you up here. Oh no. You're mixing in with the color in here somewhere. You know what it is? Probably. There we go. That fixes that. Let's put my gold up here. So gold color comes through. So I basically got the main textures kind of set up. So silk gets its own colors. This dries the color of everything else except for the silk and that. And then this is just getting Oh, you know what? I'm just bleeding through. I'll figure this out. I think I just need to double this and then use one for color and one for everything else. So I'm going to duplicate layers on that. So that I don't need the color on. That I just only need the color on. This I'm going to assign to all the materials. So let's put a color selector. Oops. Yeah, let's add mask with a color selector and then select all the colors that it needs to be. So there's an awful lot of finicky clicking I'm running through here. I think I missed. There we go. Okay, let's get the hat, the cap. All right, now I think, and then I got the QWERTY texture back into there. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to save this. We're going to chuck it on in DAZ, and I've just lost my, there we go. Let's hit save on, have I saved you yet? I have. And we'll do a quick export and we'll throw it together in DAZ and see how we're looking so far. I have to work on the zipper. You know what? I can't get in there, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a version with a giant square here that I can kind of add texture into here. It probably makes no sense when I say it that way. Anyhow, are you shiny on purpose? You are, because you're picking up. No, you're just shiny. You know what I need to do? I need to. I think I just need to add roughness and metallicity to that. Probably good. All right, let's Control Shift E. I'm going to do a 6-channel UDIM. Hey, I'm going to have to bail for a few. Oh, okay. Hey, take care. We will see you later, Rod. Thanks for popping in. Sorry he had to go to the emergency room, but I'm sounds like Joe's doing better, so glad to hear that. Take care, buddy. All right. All right. Open up the output directory. I probably don't need that, and I may not need that one. But here, let's take all of this. Let's go. Oh, there. Where are you? What are you? Project grads, graduation outfit, runtime, textures, me. I'll say grads. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna. I'm gonna put. Actually, I'm gonna. I might add a diploma to this, in which case it'll get its own folder. So we'll say grads outfit. And we'll put this in here. It's thinking. All right, there we go. I'm going to put that right there. Just going to partially cover chat. I'm going to hit save on this. So
This is set up so it's a matter of just changing colors and saving all of those out. So hit save. So I don't need that open because I'll come back to that later. This is probably... I'm going to leave that, but I don't think I need to save that. And we'll just put the colors on here real quick. And I'm going to just move the tassel up near the hat. And then we're going to call it a night. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. I'm hitting buttons as if I'm in another program, is what it is. Where's my tassel? There's my tassel. I'm going to take you. And we're going to just bring you up here. And I'm just going to kind of set you near the cap as if you were... So it's going to kind of come off the cap, something like that, and then that'll bend. The idea is this will run flat and then bend down. This is why we've rigged this whole thing. And then we should be able to... Tassel's on its own map, so let's get that out of the way. And they're the 102s. So there's a base cut. Let's actually in them do that. Okay, base color, metallic, height map, normal map, roughness right there. Probably good for that. And we can get these other three all together. And okay, base shader. Oops, you're not selected. Let's try this again. Okay, a handy dandy bit, that's better. And then we can just base color, metallic, height map, normal map. I'll double check and see if that actually generated anything later on. You know what? I'll throw the opacity map on for now. It's pretty, it might have a little bit of opacity to the cloth there. And then this goes into the roughness. You know what? I definitely don't want the opacity on that cap, so we can just remove that. Okay, let's see how we're looking. Let's just do a little render here. Also, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that they got two colors in here. And I'm going to see if I can, or if I, did you didn't, color two. That's not too bad. I might change the colors around on that a little bit. I want to blend two colors and I might have too many of the one color on the inside. Anyhow, let's take a test render here. While that's happening, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, DZ. Rod, sorry you had to go early, but bye. Is that a shadow or is that a weird glitch? Why are you yellow? And I'm getting a weird pattern in here from my... So this needs help. Oh, we need our displacement map. My cap looks like it's shading funny. Anyhow, it's a start. We're making progress. We'll probably be working on this come Saturday. So anyhow, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see who's on Twitch. Hey, if you're on YouTube, I appreciate that, SROM. If you're still, or you're back on Twitch now, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, feel free to stick around. And let's go find somebody to raid. It says I have 6 viewers, which is better than just me. But let's see who's on Twitch tonight. Twitch TV, Chris Cox. Let's see who's on. We're going to scroll down to the bottom of my list to work my way out. It's Thursday. That means maybe Dapster Dan, maybe Bad Tooth Records, maybe somebody else. We'll see. Scrolling up. DJ Ray is on already. Commander Biscuit. I'm feeling. Am I not seeing Dapster Dan or Bad Tooth Records? Is that it? I'm not seeing Dapster Dan and I'm not seeing Bad Tooth Records. Oh no. Yeah, thanks for being here, Esrom. It's always a pleasure to see you. Man, you're on this screen, I can barely read that. You're the same color as Charles. You blue meanies. You know what? I'm just gonna go hang out with DJ Ray again. We'll do that. If you want to stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. DJ Ray looks like he's playing marbles on stream and he's spinning the tunes. Henceforth named DJ Ray. So, hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Buy my stuff. Hey, feel free to join the Discord. And a huge shout out to Charles, because he's the man. Oh, yeah. And with that, we got raid calls. If you can stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. That's the I'm not a subscriber raid call. This is I am a subscriber raid call. And with that, let's go say hi to Ray. And then I'm going to just go crawl in a corner and cry because my hat looks crappy. Actually, I'm still working on a barbarian outfit. Yeah, thanks for being here again, DZ. Appreciate it, man. And with that, did I start the raid? I think I started the raid. Yes, and I will be back Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for 3D modeling stuff, then 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Saturday Night Social. It's an art share, it's a Discord chat, it's an old cartoon. And with that, I hope you all have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.